This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a beautiful start to the day here in the northeastern parts of South Africa. Djuma Private Game Reserve in the South Sands, where the sun is slowly starting to rise in the east. Hello, everybody. I'm joined by Pan on camera. We're out and about in a nice, fresh morning with mist moving in from all sides to see what we can find in the early dawn. Don't forget, if you are joining us, if this is maybe your first time, this is the live and interactive game of Safari. Your questions and comments are valuable. We'd like to hear from you using the hashtag #WildFM or throw them in on the YouTube chat stream. Ralph will be out in the car in the dark, I'm sure, for a period of time, and then Cedric is already out with me here on Djuma. Happy Sunday, and to all of the mothers out there, in South Africa specifically, because I know around the world Mother's Day is celebrated on different days. I've gotten into trouble for that before. Most certainly Mother's Day today in South Africa. So, happy Mother's Day. And if you are not a South African mother and you are still celebrating Mother's Day, well, happy Mother's Day to you as well. My mum is actually in the UK as we speak, on a little trip with her boyfriend, visiting some family, visiting my brother in the UK, and we're going on a little getaway to Turkey. How splendid for them. Where's your mum, Pan? Is she back in Zim? Is she watching? Panda's mum, happy Mother's Day to you. Anna Marie, hot chocolate snacks, ready to bumble. Oh, it is a lovely morning fit. As the dawn starts to get brighter, we are going to continue on down the road here, because this is the time to bump into things on the road. Are we ready? Let's do it. We're working this morning to the calls of the ground hornbills. It's Mother's Day in America too. I know. Happy Mother's Day. I know that when I used to call home when I was over in Europe, Spain or whatever, I'd call home to my mum and say, Happy Mother's Day. She's like, not today, my boy, it was a few weeks ago. And I was like, oops. I've got myself in trouble before. I don't know if it's a universal thing in all countries. Definitely got me into trouble before, so I don't think it is. But maybe they've, due to that, someone with political power got into trouble like I did and they changed it. Maybe that's what's happened. Every day should be Mother's Day anyway. Okay, so nice misty conditions. We're heading a little bit west.
And it's a lovely day or lovely morning here at Djuma Private Game Reserve. As you can see, we're at Treehouse Dam at the moment. Nice open skies. I'm hoping for the sun to come out very soon. And I'm looking forward to a stunning sunrise safari. Good morning, everybody. My name is Cedric, and behind the camera with me on Wendy, we've got Muscles and Paw, and he's a teddy bear. And a very, very happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers from Paw and myself. And I'm hoping that you're going to have a wonderful day and be spoiled by all your kids. But yes, and also to my mom, happy Mother's Day, Mother. I know that she is watching. She always watches early in the morning. She'll be sitting outside with her cup of coffee. And yes, happy Mother's Day, Mom. But yes, it's going to be a fantastic drive. I've got a feeling about it. It seems like it's a very interesting morning. We had a little bit of mist a little bit earlier on, but that mist seems like it's lifted. So my plans for the morning from Treehouse Dam, from where we are now, I think I'm going to head towards Twin Dams, head a little bit east. I know that Steve-O says he's going to go west, so I'm going to go a bit to the east and follow up on anything around that side. Hopefully we get some, yes, like mother action, maybe a female elephant with a calf. That would be nice. Or some nyalas with their little calves as well. Never know. Or Tlalamba with the cubs. Yeah. Can imagine that on Mother's Day. That would be very fitting. If you don't know who Tlalamba is, it's a leopardess that hangs around here on Djuma. And she's had cubs, so you can imagine we find her this morning with cubs. I know, I would just melt. It doesn't seem like too much. A hippo has disappeared from Treehouse Dam. There was a big male hippo that was hanging around here for the last couple of days. And it seems like this hippo has decided maybe he went back to Gari Dam, another dam that's just further north from where we are now. Or even Twin Dams. But it seems like this area is quiet for now. Oh, right, that's exactly. All predators will be active. This is like the best time for looking for predators. Your wild dogs are running around looking for food. Hyenas are still moving. Lions and leopards are still moving around, patrolling, hunting. That's why I always try and get out early in the morning, because you can still get that action. You know, you can still get that movements of most of the predators. Unless they're on a kill somewhere, then it's a different story. But if they're not, and if they're still hunting, if they're still patrolling territory, well, they will still be moving around now because it's still nice and cool. Sun hasn't come up yet, and it is a perfect time for a lot of them roaming around. So I think, talking about that, I think we're going to get going. I think we're going to start moving around towards Twin Dams is happening towards that side. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Explore the untamed valleys and thickets with Ralph Kirsten.
Beautiful.
Or venture into the wild with Eric Barnard.
I will take you to my favorite places, show you my favorite animals, share the best stories, and you'll definitely be able to watch the stars.
There are only 6 places available on each safari. For more information and to secure your seat, contact Wild Earth Travel.
Well, welcome back live with us here on our northwestern corner. Just having a little look around. Very pretty. A lot of moisture on the vegetation and on the trees. Just going through dip. It's not going to improve if I stop there. Let me come up the hill. Okay, well, as we come out in the open,
All right, still got his track here going down Weaver's Nest, but we're going straight south. We're heading straight towards Little Gowrie. And yeah, of course, if he crosses over there, we won't be able to follow because we do not have traversing on that side. But let's see, maybe we get a tail end here. Yeah, still fresh tracks. I mean, this was like not long ago at all. Yeah, it's gonna go straight south there. Let's hope not. Maybe he turns towards Twin Dams. If he turns towards Twin Dams, it'll be fine. But I don't think so. I think he's going to go south here. On this side. I just want to see if he doesn't go here. Sometimes he goes down this way towards Twin Dams. Let's just double check here. Alright, I'm going to go first look at this. Let's see here. There's nothing here. Okay, nothing coming across here. I'm just going to quickly jump out here. Sorry. Don't look if he hasn't crossed over here. Nothing. I think he's gone to Twin Dams. Ooh, what is this? Oh no, that's old tracks, eh? Alright, I think we're going to try and shoot that side. I just want to make sure I'm not going to miss anything here. We've got nothing aimed for. I think, yeah, let's go to Twin Dams. Let's go see if we can see him there. He usually hits, that's why they go Leadwood Road. He might end up going towards, totally to the east, maybe towards Tlhalamba side. Imagine we get him and Tlhalamba and the cubs all together. All right, well, we're going to try and see if we can find this elusive leopard. Let's head over to Amakala, as Ralph wants to say good morning.
Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to a freezing Amakala Game Reserve down in the Eastern Cape province of South Africa on this wonderful crispy morning. Happy Mother's Day to all you wonderful mothers out there. Goko Kirsten, first and foremost for me, my mother. Happy Mother's Day. And my beautiful Scottish wife, Mary Jo, mother of my two boys, Noah and Kai. Happy Mother's Day to you and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're a bit warmer than us because it is freezing here. My name is Ralph Kirsten. On the camera, I've got Morgan with me. Guten Morgen, and that is his very cold thumb. Yes, indeed. But we do have a wonderful silhouette of a giraffe. The sun is not quite up just yet, so we've just been enjoying that. We're at Leeuwenbush Pan. We've come out here because the lions were last here. We did pop around here yesterday on the Sunset Safari. We didn't see them again, but we're just scratching around, listening out and seeing if we can pick up any sign of them. As per usual, please don't forget that this is a live and interactive experience, so we'd love for you to jump on board with us on this cold morning and send us through your questions and your comments. And you can do that by going on the Wild Earth website and registering. You can also join the conversation on X, formerly known as Twitter, using the hashtag WildEarth. What is it that you'd like to see? What would you like to chat about? Whatever it is, wildlife related, send it on through. We'd love to hear from you. I think this giraffe is also feeling the cold. He hasn't moved in the last 10 minutes or so, except for doing a bit of ruminating, I think. But yes, very cold. I think it's the coldest day of the year so far. I think it must be just above 0 degrees centigrade. Some areas we dip into, I think it's below, but yeah, just to get that feeling. Our hands are frozen. But that does bode well for the predators. I've already picked up some tracks of brown hyena, nice fresh tracks. So who knows? Maybe we'll see one of them. Our plan is, well, to try and keep warm. So Elizabeth, you're sending us some warmth. Thanks very much. We do need it. And as we know, this is normally now going to get even colder as the sun comes up because it starts to heat the land and then that rises, being replaced by even colder air. So we can expect for the next hour or so to be getting even colder. Now, is this giraffe ruminating? It looks like it. I thought he might be chewing a bone. No, he's ruminating. Yes. A little bit of a glow just starting now, and the sun should be up in the next half an hour or so. deadly quiet. It's almost like the cold has chilled everybody out so much that they're all just trying to keep warm and not communicating very much. That's all right. I'm sure we'll start to hear the jackals calling soon, just before they go and head into their burrows for the day. But they might also be out a little bit later in the morning now, with it being so cold. Here's some of the birds just starting to call. Little southern ant-eating chats and the Cape longclaws. And in this area we often hear and see little cisticulars as well. They might start calling. The Cape scrub robin maybe as well. So Zoe, you're asking why they ruminate in the giraffe. Well, that's their particular digestive system. So they're all in the sort of bovid groupings, and all the bovids, they ruminate just like a cow does. They've got 4 different chambers for stomachs. So the rumen is where the ruminating comes from. That's the first chamber. And so what they do is they chew the plant material, they swallow it down mixed with saliva, and then it goes into the rumen, where it is sort of also turned around almost like in a washing machine, and then it's regurgitated, and they chew again and then swallow, and this can happen quite a few times before it then passes into the reticulum, the omasum and the abomasum, and all of those chambers having a different particular functions, but different to the hind gut fermenters, and those are the likes of zebra and rhinoceros, elephants, warthogs, and so they have a different digestive system where they need to eat a lot more. It's not as efficient as the ruminants, but they don't need to go through the process of actually ruminating like this giraffe is. So their digestive system is better, but they do need to spend this time doing exactly what this giraffe is doing in regurgitating, chewing the cud, as we call it, swallowing again, regurgitating. It's quite a process. So they don't need to spend as much time actually physically feeding as the hindgut fermenters do, but this particular time spent ruminating is very important. So very often you'll see the ruminants standing around, lying around, and actually chewing the cud. You might think that they're just resting, but it's a very big part of that process. So that's what the giraffe is doing, and sometimes you can actually see it, the food. It's lovely to watch with giraffe because you can see those cud balls coming back up the neck and into the mouth before it then starts chewing again. So if you watch closely, you will see it chewing, and then it goes still for quite some time, a few seconds, before it then starts chewing again. And that's the process of that ball going down into the rumen, then coming back up along the neck passage and into the mouth once more for re-chewing. And so grinding down that food and getting it into much smaller particles before it goes down again.
We have an exciting announcement. Wild Earth is launching a YouTube membership program. For a nominal monthly fee, members get an ad-free channel, prioritized questions, early access to videos, and many more perks. You'll get fun features like badges and emojis that'll make you stand out in the chat. YouTube memberships will help us to continue with our mission of connecting people with nature while giving you access to lots of our amazing content.
Welcome back, everyone, to our northern boundary. Seeing what's been moving around so far. It's been pretty quiet. Lots of hyena activity as always. Elephants up and down. It's nice to do a boundary patrol from time to time to see who's come in. Big properties on either side of us. There is the potential for anything to enter on this nice broad road. Often gives really good ability for seeing the tracks. We also know that our animals like to walk on the roads. Gonna stop over here and show you the mist enveloping the valleys. Alison, they're most active when it's cool. Our hyenas can be active during the day. I mean, in the Mara, they're active throughout the day when days were relatively cool. So it's all about food resources. It's all about what's driving them. If they're full and it's hot, they won't be doing anything, even if it's at night. But if they're hungry and there's things to do, they will be on the move. So some female leopard tracks there probably from yesterday. Tracks of a male leopard coming in on the south. Cedric is on it. And some female leopard tracks here that have been driven on, which makes me feel like they were from at least yesterday. We'll carry on. We say they don't look steaming. Whereas the track Cedric is following apparently steaming. So, I mean, yes, hyenas, lions, leopards will be active, generally very active at night. But there's nothing stopping them from being active in the day. It's generally the temperature, hot temperatures, that will prevent them from doing so, because it makes them lazy. It costs a lot of energy to move around in the heat. Monica, the bush is always so beautiful. It is medicine. Nature is healing. And that sun's going to be cresting soon. It's going to be quite a pretty sunrise. Panda, what do you think? I think we should wait for it. Oh, in this gap. That could be quite something. Gap of mist and some trees. Give me an opportunity to just double check some of the tracks. That track over there takes us to Tambuti Dam, so a nice highway, animal movement. Happy Sunday morning, everybody. What time is the sun scheduled to rise? It's already risen. Obviously, we're just behind a hill. Gee, this view melts your heart. Well, you just wait. as that sun starts to melt more than hearts. Okay, well, Cedric is doing what he does best. He's on the tracks of what he thinks is tortoise pan. Let's go check in with him.
All right, thank you. What we're doing now is following up on tortoise pan. So Mulwati crossed over there at Baboon Pan, quite far east, typical his route. As I said, we had his tracks going towards Twin Dams, and he crossed straight south into a little Gowrie. And now we've got fresh tracks. The guy said as well that he heard a leopard calling in this area this morning, not too long ago, when they were getting ready to go out and drive. So we made our way into this area now, and we picked up on the male leopard tracks coming straight onto Shabamu, cross towards the side. Typical for tortoise pan, his typical route. So we're just going to keep our eyes peeled here and to see if we can locate this male leopardo. Yes, it'll be fantastic. Just got to keep our eyes peeled here. Usually sometimes, yeah. I just want to make sure I'm not going to miss anything. Because he doesn't usually come up the road on this road. Yeah, he'll usually go cut straight.
We're coming here from Little Gowrie Old Driveway. I was going to see where they go.
Yeah, morning Dion. We are busy following up here. De Beer and myself, we in the area on Philmont's Cutland. He came up Shabamu, then he crossed north. West, so I'm just going to go up onto Zoe's to see if he hasn't crossed over there.
Yeah, these are going to go like into the Trias and those kind of places.
Alright, copy. There's another Madonna England conscious coming all the way south along Firebreak towards Baboon Pan. Went straight south at Baboon Pan. Hi everybody. Sorry, we're just trying to quickly chat to everybody, bumping into a vehicle, guys on the radio, all happening.
This is On Safari.
Yes, everybody, we are trying to stay alive in this cold weather. It's very cold now. I think it's below zero. And we are still in search of these lions. Hello. What's that? Dacre. Yeah, there he goes. Let's just see if we can get an eye on him. He wasn't too far. I think he's also cold, just like us. Looks a little bit stiff. Shame. Probably was in a nice little warm ball and we've disturbed him. And off he's trotted into the bush. That's the first animal we've seen active, other than those giraffe. Who knows? Maybe these lions are around here somewhere, but we're going to find them. So we're just slowly moving around the area that they were yesterday. As I've said, we're not particularly confident that the cheetah, the three amigos, have moved out of the valleys yet. But we're going to listen out to the guides that are down in the basin, and we'll see if they pick up on them. Then we'll definitely go and have a look. But for now, in this area is where the lions have been hanging about. So that's what we're scratching for. And I think on a nice cold morning like this, they'll be nice and active, which will be fun to watch, especially those sub-adults playing around and having a good time. So it'll always make for good viewing. However, for now, a little bit quiet. So Leah, you want to know particular interactions between lions and cheetah. Well, I have to say flat out, they despise each other. The cheetahs, they just keep clear of the lions, and the lions try to kill the cheetah at any opportunity. So that's what happens between them. So if the cheetahs see the lions, the cheetah run away. If the lions see the cheetah, they chase them, because it's competition between predators. So the lions will chase any other predator that they can, and they'll kill it if they can as well. That's the law of the bush. The apex predator out here is the lions, and it's competition for them. So if the cheetah make a kill and the lions hear the death sort of noises of the animals squealing or whatever, they come in and they steal the kill away from the cheetah. And if they can, they'll also grab the cheetah and put them to the sword. So Morgan, I must say, has got his long pants on and he's shaking his hands now that he's cold. Then you definitely know that's the coldometer. Morgan has shown that it is not a bad thing I've got my gloves on. But now that we have done a full circle around this Leeuwenbush plain here, let's just have a look, and I'll stop here and we'll see if we hear any other noises. But the morning sky is starting to get beautiful. So let's just have another look at the view we had earlier, but from a much sort of a distant shot. The sun should be coming up over there, although we're still in IR, so you can't really see it just yet. Still very low light conditions, but always worth a stop and a listen. This time of the morning is also the periods when the lions might call and give themselves or their location away. So Nicole, the cats with the most conflict, it all depends on the area that you are in and the concentrations of the predators there. For instance, you see in the Sabi Sands, big conflict between lions and leopard in particular, but then you also have the conflict with wild dogs and spotted hyena. Here on Amakhala, I would say you're probably looking at, the conflict between the cheetah and the lions. So the cheetah pretty much just try and avoid the lions at all cost. We pretty much find them on the opposite end of the reserve, the cheetah staying away from them. So when the lions move onto a particular side, you generally find that the cheetah move to the opposite end. So currently the lions are hanging out on the western side of the reserve where we are now, and the cheetah have moved down onto the eastern side, down into the basin and into the valleys. So it's always like a bit of the old switcheroo. Whichever side the lions move, the cheetah then avoid them. And that just goes to show that the cheetah are sort of lion conscious. If the cheetah had to come from an area where there were no lions, they stand a higher risk of being killed by them because they sort of, if they don't grow up with that instinctive movement away from lions and being lion aware, they can very easily be surprised by them and get killed. So it's a good thing for these cheetah that they are lion conscious. And so it's not really a problem for them. At one stage, the cheetah did go down into the basin when the lions were hanging out there a lot. And immediately the lions picked up on their scent and chased them. And we actually did see the lions chasing them. And the cheetah, obviously, with their speed, they could just stay ahead of the lions. And they were almost laughing at them because the lions could never catch up with them. They're not as fast as the cheetah. And so they weren't able to actually catch him. And then they just moved to the opposite end of the reserve, and that's how they've maintained since then. But wonderful that the three amigos, there was one that broke its leg. He's had it referred, and it's all sorted out now, and he's back hunting with his brothers. So that's wonderful. And speaking about all of this lion, cat, cheetah conflict, here's a little bit of a clip to explain something just like that.
While the big cats spend most of their time asleep, their waking hours are often filled with violent conflicts for mates, food, and territory. There's no room for chivalry amongst leopards. This grizzled old male thinks nothing of stealing food from a hard-working young leopardess. The stability of a cheetah coalition is often shattered by a fight for dominance. A lion's size will always deter its hyena cousins. Confronting the clan can shift the balance. But safety is not always found in numbers. Even a pack of wild dogs can fall prey to a lion. Conflict in the wild rarely ends in a peaceful compromise.
Well, it's amazing how you can see all the different social structures and the dynamics of cats. It's always so fascinating. But talking about cats, I'm still on the search of this male leopard. He hasn't come up Zoe, so that's his typical route, would come up that side. There's no tracks there. Oh, here comes a vehicle this way now. Another vehicle. I will be chatting to this guy quickly as to see exactly if he's got any other information on this leopard that we are trying to track down. I'll pull to the side so we don't throw all the dust into their eyeballs, into the guest's eyes. I'm going to stop just here, and while they do approach us, I am going to have a quick word with him. Morning, morning. Morning, everybody. Morning, Dubs. Yeah. I'm not too sure. I maybe think might be the same ones that was at Treehouse Dam going that side, or I think, did you hear it calling?
They usually had them like past 4 early in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Calling this side.
Close to the staff quarters and Konzo Buya.
Ah. All right, so maybe.
Following up from the driveway.
Oh, they might be in the block here somewhere.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to go back down towards maybe Philemon's cut line and just do a round loop.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's the one that can answer the question.
Thanks.
They want to know how to follow.
No, it's just what they're doing, yeah.
Oh yes, that's a live stream, yes, on YouTube and all that, Wild Earth. And just go into the YouTube channel. And if you want to join as a member, you're more than welcome. You can ask questions and follow us every single day. Yeah. Or just go onto our website, just go to wildearth.tv, then jump onto that. And you can follow all the follow all the characters in that every single day. All right, thanks, Davies. Thanks, everybody. Have a lovely day. Hopefully we find this leopard. All right, bye. All right. Well, that's there it is. See, it's always nice to chat to people, and there's so many people that's got so much interest in nature. I love it. Just love it, and that's what's fantastic about Wild Earth. We kind of bring a nature to the rest of the world, and a lot of people get so involved, so attached to some of these characters that they'll come all the way here and spend a bit of time in the bush at some of the lodges just to come and see them. So wonderful. Is Gwen still there? I don't know. Sorry, I want to see if my director's still in my ear. Maybe we're off. Yeah. Oh. Betsy, yes, it is. It is. We've got to have a good relationship. De Beer, that gentleman that I just spoke to now, he was a tracker. He's actually he's a brilliant tracker. He used to be a tracker at one of the lodges at Arathusa, and then he became a guide. And I've been working with him like in this area for since 2010. So I got to know him quite well. Great person, and as I said once again, one of the best trackers around here. But he's a guide now, so I feel sorry for his tracker. It's all that he has to fill big shoes there, big boots, tracker boots. So yeah, that's why I will always listen to somebody like that, when he's talking about what's happening around here, because he really picks up on those kind of things very well, with the tracking and finding animals. Alrighty then. I'm just gonna give it one more go. Just gonna go one more time down this road here and just see if Leopard Queen is I'm a very good salesman. No, Leopard Queen. I think that was how can I say, my poorest part of my work is actually selling something. Well, if I could sell you anything, well then maybe I accomplished one sale in my life. And in Paul, you're a good salesman, no? No, I think in pork. No, yeah, actually, hold on. I'll rather just take that back. Yeah, so we have to look around this side. I think you'll actually be a good salesman, Paul. No, I think you just. So I'm also thinking. Look, I'm trying to just like kind of make him a little bit smiley this morning. So don't worry, Paul.
Good at sizzling some people, but yeah, that's live.
I think I haven't really been a salesman in my life. I think the only thing I've really sold was okay, well, like when I started in the IT industry, I remember I had to sell quite a bit of like the software and the hardware. So, people brought their computers in, and I did a lot of fixing of the computers and that. And then I had to sell them like, oh, sir, your graphic card is not strong enough to run this software. Look at this one, much better, much higher resolution. Buy it now, it's on sale. Anyway, yeah, there's my sales pitch for the morning.
Explore the untamed valleys and thickets with Ralph Kirsten.
Beautiful. Oh God.
Or venture into the wild with Eric Barnard.
I will take you to my favorite places, show you my favorite animals, share the best stories, and you will definitely be able to watch the stars.
There are only 6 places available on each safari. For more information and to secure your seat, contact Wild Earth Travel.
So I've picked up on some tracks of the male lion and sub-adults, and they were heading in a westerly direction, and there's a lot of activity of brown hyena and jackals around their tracks as well. So we're just heading in the direction that the tracks were going, and this is in the westerly direction towards Newlands, is what the area that is called. So we're just going to head into that zone. You know, for all intents and purposes, the lions could have stopped in the thickets and not carried on through, but we're going to go into an area where they do like to go and hang out as well. There's quite a lot of game that hangs out there too. There's often some oryx or gemsbok down here. There's also a secretary bird's nest that we can maybe check in and see if there's any secretary birds around. So it's just a nice area to go to as well. For now, I don't have any sight on them, just a little bit of signs and tracks. So I'm hoping maybe a brown hyena is awake and still walking around as well, with there being nice fresh tracks of them moving around too. So that's the current state of affairs. It is still getting colder, can you believe it? It's incredible. I think in the last 2 days, it's probably dropped about 20 degrees Celsius. It's literally winter is now here. But that's always good for predators. You get to see them a lot more active, as these lions have been. So Nikki, asking about tracking. Much more difficult to track here. I will take the Lowveld over the Eastern Cape tracking wise. in a blink of an eye, because there you can actually, follow a trail. Here, you're quite right. Lots of grass. Okay, in the early morning like this, it can be quite easy, especially when there's a lot of moisture on the grass itself, to follow through the grassy areas, because you can make out where the moisture has been taken off. If you walk through the grass when it's nice and wet, you can actually see from the glistening water on the grass and where it's been walked through, it's obviously collected on your feet as you go through that area, so you can make that out. That's something that you can use, but other than that, it's very difficult to track here. Also, the substrate, very hard. On this side, a little bit better, it's a bit more sandy, but generally in the Eastern Cape, very clay soils, and so almost impossible. It's like trying to track an animal on concrete or on the road or tarmac road. So unless they stay on the road where there's a little bit of sand on top of that clay soil, it's almost impossible. Very tricky. So if you can get, if you do a tracking assessment down here in the Eastern Cape and you do very well, especially on a trailing exercise, I would say that it stands you in excellent stead for the substrates that you'll find in the low-felt area, which is a lot more sandy. It's got a granite base, so you have that lovely surfaces that makes it much easier to follow animals, and going into the bush as well. Now here also we don't have off-road driving, so we can't sort of follow the animals through the blocks. So we've got to anticipate where the animal may have moved and sort of leapfrog is what we call it, and try to intuitively track where the animal has gone. So we've picked up the direction which the lions were moving in sometime last night, and so we just intuitively going to go and have a look and see where they may have popped out, but they may still be lying within the thicket and not having moved far from where we've seen the last track. Oh, hello. I think that's worthwhile looking at. We have been doing a bit of scenery, so let's do a little bit more. The sun is just poking up over the horizon. I don't want to go in that hole. That would have been fun. Let's have a look at this beautiful sunrise, and hopefully going to warm us up a little bit in the next little while as well. Try and get us flat. Is that all right? Look at that. Beautiful sun coming up. Yeah, a little southern boo-boo calling, and a somber green bull, two of the most common birds calls that you'll hear in these parts. And of course, a Cape turtle dove or ring-necked dove. Also a good opportunity, nice and higher, just to have a bit of a scan and see if we see any signs of the lions. But when you're looking for lions, everything looks like a lion. And there's lots of termite mounds here, and they have the exact sort of fawny colour of a lion. So every termite mound we've been seeing, we've been stopping and checking if it's not a lion's bum. But unlucky for us, all of them being termite mounds. Look at that glow. Couple of clouds about, but not much. The sky is pretty clear, except for that little bit of clouds there near in the direction of the sun. Look how fast it comes up as well, huh? I was watching the moon set yesterday, and literally took about 30 seconds from when it hit the horizon to when it was completely gone. So, Wiebel, are you saying that South Africa has better sunrises, or seems to, than the UK? I think it has a lot to do, I've seen some amazing sunrises in the UK when it's been clear. I think it just has a lot to do with the weather. When it's very cloudy and overcast, difficult to see the sun. But when it's not in the UK and in summer, it's absolutely stunning sometimes as well. But yeah, we do have very good weather here in the parts of South Africa. And so clear skies, a little bit of clouds about, always makes for beautiful sunrises and sunsets. Well, that's it. We're getting the day fully underway now, and we can actually see a bit better, and I'm hoping it's going to warm up in the next hour or so. But this is now generally the coldest hour as the sun comes up. Those rays are going to be hitting the ground, warming it up, and as that air rises, then it gets super cold. Doesn't last long though. Well, I'm hoping it doesn't last long. And that's it. It's up. The Blue Jay Fly. Thanks for your comment, and it is absolutely stunning. Now, all we need to do is find some cats or predators or anything else, and lots of action. That's what we want. I'm also looking out for some of the elephants. I'm hoping a lonely bull is somewhere here on the western side, away from the breeding herd. You never can tell.
Just gonna go up in Indy.
A couple of crows calling now. They've taken over the place of the vultures. But now Morgan tells me that there is a project. The guys have been releasing Cape and... Sorry for that. I am listening out. And sometimes the radio surprises me. But they have been releasing Cape and white-backed vultures in the area. So there might be the possibility that we actually start seeing them a little bit more around carcasses here in the Eastern Cape. That would be wonderful. And I'm hoping that the farmers have all been communicated with, and there's no sort of indiscriminate poisoning, trying to keep the predators in the livestock farms away, and that these vultures are actually able to establish themselves down here in the Eastern Cape. That would be great. However, vultures have got wings, so you can never be sure that they're actually going to stay in the area that they're released. But the project is underway. I want to find out a little bit more information on that and see who's actually behind that releasing of the vultures. And when I do, I'll let you know. Still no sounds coming from the lions. So Christy enjoying the sunrise as well. It is breathtaking. It's beautiful. Nice place for a coffee break if you were out here on a game drive. Always good to stop and listen. See if there's any signs, any alarm calls. But nothing for now. Emerald spotted wood dove calling. Okay, so I think we're going to be starting up and seeing if we can get some more clues as to where these lines have gone. And while we're listening to the dawn chorus just getting underway, sounds like Steve is also doing the same.
Thanks, Ralph, and welcome back, everyone. You've just, what I think is a Gabar goshawk. I'm not 100% sure. It's a bit far away. And looking at it in the tree there, it's got a darkish eye and a pinkish red cere. But what's noticeable is it doesn't have any white on the rump. No white barring on the rump either. But it's difficult to say with this distance. Little sparrowhawk has got a yellow cere, little white spots on the tail. Lizard buzzard's got a white rump. I saw it flying and I thought to myself, I feel like it's a gabar. One of our little accipiters, small to medium-sized grey birds of prey. but that's as good as we can get, I'm afraid. Hello, Nathan. It takes practice. It takes practice. You know, the first 10, 20, 30 birds, you know, we get there. We just keep doing it, keep doing it. Binoculars are a key feature if you want to be out in the wild places. And then slowly but surely over time, you start recognizing certain birds that look similar. The way that they fly, the size, the shape, the coloration, and then you pick up your bird book and you have a look at what looks similar. It takes practice, but it is an incredibly rewarding hobby, birding, because everywhere you go in the world there are birds. Even in the most built-up places there are birds. There's always something to see. Okay, so I'm guessing it's a Gabbar goshawk. I could be wrong, everybody. If it is a Gabbar, they're very well known for pursuing their prey. Birds for the most part, although they will also take bats, insects and reptiles. See if he responds to the call. That sometimes can be the trick. Are you ready? Didn't respond. That doesn't always mean a lot. I'm going to play the shikra. Definitely seems more interested in that one, doesn't it? But I can't tell from this distance. They are similar, except I'm pretty sure. Has it got a yellow here? At least it goshawks, sparrowhawks, hawks, buzzards, all grouped differently from eagles. True eagles have got feathers all the way to their feet. The talons are exposed and they got feathers all the way down their legs. That's true eagles for you. And you get the fish eagles, which don't, and the snake eagles, which don't. So it's not always in the name. And then you get the hawk eagles, which do have feathers down. But goshawks and sparrowhawks all fall into that sort of medium-sized group, the accipiter group of medium to small-sized grey birds of prey, and none of them have got feathers down to the feet. I'm not allowed to move.
Alright, we're coming up to Treehouse Dam. Had some impalas alarm calling around here now, so we're just coming back this side just to come and double check on that and see what has upset the impalas here at Treehouse Dam. Maybe a leopard walking past here, or even maybe the impalas are busy rutting, so they do sometimes give off like a false alarm for us to pick up on, and well, we'll see. I'm just gonna come and have a little. Oh, there's something lying on the road down there, straight across there. You see him, Paul? Right across there. There's something on the road there. I don't know what it is. It's an elephant dung, and Paul. It looks like a hyena. It's like yes. He also agreed on that. He also said it is something. It looked like a hyena. Actually looked like a hyena lying down. Yeah, or a wild dog lying down there. Anyway. Nee, kyk. We're just gonna go just sit here for a bit and listen out. Apparently, Dion, one of the guides from another lodge at Chitwa said to me now he had 10 individual hyenas around there in Hofmans. 10 of them all around the water, busy playing around. So I told him just to maybe grab some photos for us. I would love to see exactly which individuals were there at a place called a Solar Panel Marty. Look, that's a nice little oxpecker is busy drinking on the side there. Oh, they're gone. There's still one. Oh, there's still one there. A little red-billed oxpecker. So I'm sure they are nesting around here somewhere, because we see them every single day, like 3-4 of them. It sits on the hippo's head, or they keep on coming back and forth here to this dam. I think they might be nesting in this dead tree. They're right on top here. I'm going to just quickly grab my binocs here. 3-4 of them.
Explore the untamed valleys and thickets with Ralph Kirsten.
Beautiful. Oh God.
Or venture into the wild with Eric Barnard.
I will take you to my favorite places, show you my favorite animals, share the best stories, and you will definitely be able to watch the stars.
There are only 6 places available on each safari. For more information and to secure your seat, contact Wild Earth Travel.
So the little vervet monkeys, they're at the top of all the trees trying to get themselves the first... sorry about the radio again. Go off. And they're trying to gather the warmth from the sun. So you can see two of them there. There's a third one right at the tops of the trees, getting those rays of sun as they poke up over the horizon, trying to get warm. Shame the little guys, they feel just like us. And we've seen a jackal that was just running, and so I'm going to go where the jackal was running because I have a feeling the lions might be around near to where we saw the jackal. So that's where I'm heading. Slowly starting to warm up, ever so slowly. Lots of birds calling. And there's a few more of the monkeys emerging now as well, just getting the warmth as well. So, Nono, you want to know how the monkeys climb up there. They are excellent climbers, being primates, and like all monkeys, they are excellent in the trees and spend most of their times, they're more arboreal, as we would say, tree dwellers than the likes of baboons, who are slightly more terrestrial, spend a lot of time on the ground. But they also go up into the trees at night to roost. So the monkeys, they would have spent the night up in this tree. And now that it was so cold, they were obviously shivering. They probably all gathered together to keep warm. And there would have been some degree of shivering, I'm sure. That is a way of, mammals, we do it a lot. You know, when you're very cold, you start shivering. That's your body that actually helps in that process of shivering to keep yourself warm. But they'll also huddle together to try and keep warm as well. And now, obviously, with the sun poking up, they're not quite active just yet because it's still a little bit too cold. So they're going to the top of the trees using their hands and feet, which are able to clasp onto the branches. And they even have a fifth appendage, and that's the tail, that helps them to be able to climb and hang in the trees themselves. So excellent climbers. And now, obviously, not doing much climbing, just sitting and trying to warm up, just like us. So these are little vervet monkeys, as we call them. In Afrikaans, it's a blow-up because they got a little bit of a blue tinge to them. And obviously, the mature males also get a turquoise blue, very bright blue coloration to their testicles. You can hear black-collared barbets calling in duet. So, Zanele, monkeys and baboons do get on reasonably well, but if there's any conflict between them, there can be. Sometimes when there's a little bit of competition for the same food source, baboons are much bigger, they're more aggressive, and there's only going to be one winner there. However, the monkeys are very agile, they're very fast, and so they are able to evade baboons very easily too. Much better climbers in the trees, so that's the way that they generally would evade them. But I tell you what, vervet monkeys have probably got the sharpest eyes of all the mammals out here. I think they're only probably beaten by the likes of birds. But if monkeys start alarm calling, you need to take heed. And, you know, when I was training students, I always used to challenge them to try and sneak up on a monkey. Try your best. Not one single student has ever been able to do it. So if you want to have a challenge, try and sneak up on a vervet monkey and get as close as you can. I guarantee you, you won't get very close. They are very sharp. Their eyes are excellent. And they don't miss a trick. Look at him now. He's right at the top of that tree now, trying to get his front warmed up. See, I'm not lying. It is very cold. And monkeys, just like baboons, are amazing to watch. They're always up to something. He's sitting in a very nice thinking pose there. And while we're sitting watching these chaps, just once again a reminder of the time change that we'll be having from the 15th of May, and that is that the sunrise safari will be changing. Instead of 6 o'clock start, it will be 6:30 a.m. start, and for 3 hours, finishing at 9:30. And then obviously, with that change, the sights and sounds will then also start at 9:30 as opposed to 9, going to 11:30. So just remember that time change coming in from the 15th of May. It's obviously a lot to do with us going into winter and the lack of light in the very early mornings like we've had this morning. It takes a long time for us to be able to actually go out of IR, or the infrared camera, because there's just not enough light before then. So we change over on the winter periods and then change back in summer.
We did have some lions. Cedric's probably going to follow that one.
That sun will be getting up very fast, so I think in the next half an hour or so, it'll be nice and warm, as will we. So easier for the body to move around. As with all the primates, we do not really take well to the cold. Some more than others. Yeah, Joel, I think we're going to be doing just that. We're going to head up to a nice high spot, going to look for these lions, and we will warm up after we've sat watching these guys for a while to see what they get up to. Nice, as I say, also just to sit and wait and see if they do pick up any movement of predators, because then we'll go in the direction that they're all looking. It's a fantastic indicator. Monkeys have often led me to cheetah, leopards, lions, just because of their alertness and how easily and well they pick up the predators.
Right, as you can see, you've got a lovely tent spider's web or construction here. A little bit of dewdrops that's formed against the web itself, so it looks a little bit more prominent at the moment due to that. I can't see that. Usually the spider itself will be in the center. So what happens, you've got like a little catchment area at the bottom. It's almost like a bowl. And then just above that is quite a messy structure as well. And what happens is, usually if it's a insect that's flying past here, it'll hit the real messy part on top of that bowl structure, and then the insect will fall down into the catchment area. And then of course the little spider will come there and grab it, and then spin a web around it, and then consume it. And I'm trying to see if I can find the little spider somewhere. I can't really see it. And that's why they call it a tent spider, because they build almost like a tent. Do you see anything there, Paul? I don't see any movement. It might be like behind that kind of a brownish leaf there. That spider might be behind there somewhere, but they're very small. They're not big at all. They're not like the size of a golden orb spider or a garden orb spider. Monica, I'm sure if the rain is strong enough, if they've got the downpour, I'm sure the web will be kind of partially destroyed by rain. But if it's a drizzle, if it's a little dew, that won't really destroy too much at all. And you can see quite a mess at the bottom of the tent, the catchment area itself. Kind of just keeping it all in place. It's amazing how they really construct this web every time, just perfect. They are pretty much civil inches of note. Oh, there, I think I see it running there. I think there was something that was running on the thing there. You see there, Paul? It looked like there was movement there. I thought there was movement, maybe. Or is it just my eyes again? Yeah, maybe not. I thought there was movement there, but because they're very small. Very small spiders. You have to really look carefully. No, that's just the one. It's not like the commune web spider. The commune web building spider is the one that makes the ball, and there's like thousands of them together. This is just a single one that really creates this entire web or construction. And beautiful. Always like it when the dew comes down, because you really kind of see the build of these webs. All right, I don't really see much. All right, let's head up. We're going to go a little bit further north. I'm still on the western side. I'm still on the western side of Djuma, so I'm going to carry on going north. I'm going to go to the northwestern corner, go and take a look around that side to see if anything. I heard something a little bit earlier while we were actually now. Yeah, did you actually hear that as well? It almost like kudu barking a little bit further north. So I'm going to go up that side and go and investigate. Always say when the kudus are busy alarm calling like that, it's worth a try to go and follow up on what those kudus are seeing. It's quite far north. Nathan, 11 years old. Yeah, you can use a compass if you want to know where you are in the bush. I don't use a compass. I use the sun. So I know that the sun is pretty much rising on my east. So the sun is there. That's east. And it sets on the west. So I say east, south, west, and north up this side. And then that's why I say I'm going north. So yeah, use that. Or sometimes you can use we were talking about spiders now. Commune web building spiders, and most of the time they will build their web or their ball on the northern side of the tree. Actually, so you'll see here now. We just passed one now. I just saw one now. It's caught my eye. So like north, usually most times on the northern side of the tree. You can see this web here. There's a commune web. The spiders, so they stay in the community. So that's also, you can see it's the northern side here of the tree, and then I know exactly where we're pointing to. But not all the time. You must always try to take maybe 3, 4, 5 of them and then kind of round it off, because not all of them will be exactly north. But there's no little spiders. And they stay. There's thousands of them. Well, not. I'm sure this one hasn't got thousands. Maybe 60, 70 of them, and they never know. But there's a lot more compared to the tent spider. All right, let's head over to Steve to see what's happening on his drive.
Thanks, Setters. And it looks like our hornbill here has been quite saturated by the dew this morning. I think many of our birds got quite wet. The vegetation is very moist. The leaves are dripping with moisture from the condensation of the change between last night's temperature and this morning. Oh. And like that, it's gone. So we found some tracks of what I can only assume to be Tlalamba on Chitakaplan coming north towards our central road, and they either came in or they went on that side. I drove over them at one point, so I didn't get the direction whether they turned right or left, unfortunately. So we're just going to have a little loop around here, see if we can figure out. It'd be nice to see her. Panda, when last did you see Tlalamba?
It was, I think, a week ago.
A week ago? It's been some time for me now, but I have been away. Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning, I'm trying to give an update. Confirm you're still out of comment.
No negative. I went into Buvelsuk west of Tamboti, east of Tamboti Dam.
Like everything's so they cross to the north. That's on the one.
Such a beautiful day. Kendall? The Afrikaans, they call that the konkoit, the gorgeous bush shrike. I'm doing it all right this morning. Sometimes the coffee lips make it a bit tricky to do that call. It's one of those onomatopoeia names that it sounds like it goes konkoit. So the Afrikaans name for it is the gorgeous bush shrike. It has taken me years, though, to practice that one, I'll be honest with you. But the name gorgeous bush shrike is what it's given. Let me just wipe my screen here, and I will show you the gorgeous bush shrike. And then we'll play it as well. Oh, there's a little bit of something on there. And then I'll play the call for you. And you can tell me what you think. Love bush shrikes. Gorgeous. There it is. Bird page. Here we go. There's the gorgeous bush shrike. I'm going to have a sip of coffee to carry on. Just wet the lips. That's the opposite effect. Okay, are we ready? Are we going to listen? See, that's the one I'm doing. They've got a couple of variations. Our birds, like if you imagine English, if you've ever been, in South Africa, there's actually different dialects of English-speaking South Africans. I can tell if someone's from Cape Town by the way they say Cape Town, and I can tell if someone's by Durban by the way they say certain words. And if you're from Joburg, there's certain slang words, namely but, that gets used quite regularly. So just in South Africa alone, there's different dialects of English. And around South Africa, a lot of birds will also have different dialects, and they sound slightly different. So when you look at a bird app like this, you'll often get that it says, you saw some of those words came up there, it would say that this is a variation. This was in St. Lucia, recorded in this date. This was in Pafuri in the Kruger National Park. So that's the one I was doing, is the Pafuri one, Kruger National Park. But then you get the other one in Ben Levin Reserve in Limpopo. And so they can be slightly different depending on where they occur. If you've been to the UK, you'll know that wherever you go in the UK, everybody sounds incredibly different in their accent. And you sometimes don't even think that they're speaking English. But they are. I'm talking about you wonderful Newcastle people. The real Shamwari, it's a beautiful bird, eh? They came across it and they just went, that bird is gorgeous. There we go. Gorgeous bush shrike. So, in the rivers around Pafuri and the camp that I often stay at, we get them there. It's a very special bird, but very good to find them in St. Lucia wetland, Isimangaliso Reserve in northern KZN. This branch is very wet. Just slap myself in the face with the wet branch. That'll wake me up in the morning. Okay. It's alright, Gwen, I'll survive.
Explore the untamed valleys and thickets with Ralph Kirsten.
Beautiful. Oh God.
Or venture into the wild with Eric Barnard.
I will take you to my favorite places, show you my favorite animals, share the best stories, and you'll definitely be able to watch the stars.
There are only 6 places available on each safari. For more information and to secure your seat, contact Wild Earth Travel.
Okay, well, you're still with us, everyone. We're gonna find her just chilling in a tree. That'd be nice, wouldn't it, Panda? That'd be super cool. Jojo Samgalambalak, Tlalambalak. Tlalamba, where are you? Maybe I should sing the leopard song. Ingwe, wabalawala, Ingwe, wabalawala.
Success! I love it when you have tracking success. We've managed to find the lion pride, and they're all mobile, and some are chasing each other around. There go the youngsters, kicking up. You can see how wet it is. Lots of playtime. Now they've just walked past us after we found them. So we are going to have to move, and they are walking along the fence line. I hope they don't stick to the fence line. They're not like the cheetah. They don't generally walk up and down the fence line as much as they do. It's not great pictures. I can hear a little bit of contact calling now. And I did see the big male as well. He'll probably be following in behind them, but we're not going to stick and wait for him. We know that he'll catch up. So let's just catch up with these guys now. We've also told the rest of the rangers or the guides that we're on to them, and so there might be some guides coming to join us in a moment, but for now we've got the sighting to ourselves because we were the ones that found them. So let's get in there and see what these youngsters especially get up to. I'm sure they're going to be full of beans on this nice cold morning. So just so you know, there's a little bit of frostiness on the lens. Morgan's just going to clear that up for you so you can see a bit better. Righty. Oh, lots of fun and games with the youngsters there. So let's just try and get a bit closer and get a nice view for you guys. Oh, hello. Still one hanging back here. Obviously don't want to get too close and change their behavior. Sometimes the sub-adults be a little bit indifferent towards the vehicle. So Mello, you say that the lions are having a Sunday fun day. Absolutely. And I'll just try and follow in slowly, quietly behind them. Now, all we hope is that they do actually spot something, not on the other side of the fence. There are some springbok there. This one's going to do a bit of marking. The bush. Some more. And there's some youngsters, one young male and a female also playing a bit of rugby there, tackling each other. Good practice for when they are hunting. Also nice that seemingly slept through the night and now they're doing a little bit of a patrol, marking as they go. And even the sub-adults now partaking in the marking process. Oh, don't put your nose too close to that electric wire. We've seen the cheetah do that. Put their nose on the electric wire and shock themselves. That's the whole idea of that wire. Once they get shocked, they sort of know not to go near it, and then they don't attempt to leave the reserve. It's high voltage, low amperage, so it's actually meant to knock animals, including elephants, off of the fence line, but not put their lives in any danger. And I know, because I've tried, that it definitely knocks you off of it, gives you an immense fright. Your whole body gets shocked. So Terry, yes indeed, both males and females will scent mark with the lions. So you saw that one that was marking just here in front, that was a female. The male, the young male, he went off down the bottom there and also marked. So the entire pride will mark. But obviously if other lions come through and they actually smell that, they'll be able to tell which one is males and which one is females just from the scent of the urine itself. So they're continuing on now down along the road, looking over onto the opposing property. There's a bunch of springbok chasing each other around. They're not going to be able to catch them. But you know, it is a bit confusing for them, this boundary. Naturally, they would be able to go and have a look at those springbok if they wanted to, but not in this instance. Should we go and get a bit closer, Morgan? I think so. It's sitting nicely there. Sorry about the fence, but it is what it is. They're patrolling the sort of boundaries of their own territory as well and marking it as they go, as the cheetah do. So sometimes it's not possible for us not to be on the fence line with predators because it's what they do. Even in 80,000 hectare reserves, they like to walk along the fence line. Sometimes where there's roads as well. They even like going and sitting and watching the cars, especially lions. I've been on a reserve where if we couldn't find the lions, we would go to a particular spot where they used to sit and watch the cars go past. I think they find it quite amusing or interesting, or, you know, it's just something for them to do. But they did it very often. So I'm not going to get too close in behind these chaps, just so that I don't pressurize them. Let's sit here for a little while. And just like I said, you may notice a safari vehicle as they walk up towards them. I've called the sighting in so that the other guys can also come and get their guests in on the sighting as well. So, Canine Girl, you enjoying the sociability of these cats, and obviously lions being the most sociable of all the cats, it is lovely to watch when they're being sort of affectionate towards each other and reaffirming those bonds constantly. You don't see it from the other cats really to the extent that you get with lions. It's always nice to watch. There's one of the other game viewers enjoying their sunrise safari with us. See that steam coming out of their mouths, the water vapor, showing just how cold it is. And I think the lions quite enjoy it when it's this temperature.
We have an exciting announcement. Wild Earth is launching a YouTube membership program. For a nominal monthly fee, members get an ad-free channel, prioritized questions, early access to videos, and many more perks. You'll get fun features like badges and emojis that'll make you stand out in the chat. YouTube memberships will help us to continue with our mission of connecting people with nature while giving you access to lots of our amazing content.
Shakes, but that is the nature of the road, and it's necessary for us to catch up with these lions. They are moving at quite a pace. There are some animals just near to us here, but there's also those vervet monkeys. So I'm sure if they carry on going, we're going to start hearing those monkeys alarm calling. Right, up next to the fence here, which is unfortunate, but we've discussed that. And it's always nice when it's your sighting, because we found it, so we're in charge. All right, so It's just a little bit unfortunate that we're looking straight into the sun, but this might be temporary. We just follow them. There's a corner in the fence line here, so I'm pretty sure they won't necessarily follow the fence line, and we'll probably get them in a much better position. So, although this isn't great, it's only temporary, especially that they're on the move.
All right, so I pretty much did most of the west now. I actually really combed through the entire western area of Djuma, and just to see if we get lucky with that male leopard, but there was no luck that side. So I'm going to slowly head towards, I'm on the northern side now. I'm going to go towards Buffelshoek Dam. I'm going to go sit there. I want to go see if we can find maybe that crocodile or Godzilla too. See if that croc is not around for us this morning. A bit of cloud cover now, but that's fine. I thought so, because after yesterday's wind that came through, yesterday afternoon's wind that came through, I realized that it was bringing some kind of front into here. But we're going to see if we can get that side. I'm hoping that the crocodile will be outside with this cool weather for the morning. As well, they said there was buffaloes coming south from Buffelshoek Dam. I mean, Buffelshoek property. That's property that's just on the left-hand side. Jesse, yes, I have. When I was working in the West, the funniest thing we had also, this is the funniest part, we also had a crocodile that had a tip missing, the tip of the tail missing, and that croc was always, we call it Stompy. The croc's name was Stompy, and it was quite a big crocodile, and the one day we found it on a big open clearing pretty much under like a guarri bush, just waiting, just lying there. And far from water. It looked like it was making its way back to the Sand River, because the Sand River was about maybe give and take a kilometer, one and a half kilometers from where that crocodile was. So it seemed like it was coming from one of the dams heading to the river, and we found it there pretty much on an open clearing under a guarri bush, just relaxing there for the morning. So yes, I have seen crocodiles away from the water, but that is, of course, not a common sighting. It's not something that we see every day. It'll be interesting to find this crocodile walking down central, maybe towards Gowrie Dam. Maybe it'll come to Gowrie Dam, you never know. But I think Buffelshoek Dam is just deep enough. It's a big dam, so I do apologize if there's any break in picture here. A little bit of a bad signal area. Oh, all right, so I'll have to go stationary, as Gwyn just told me to, and then we'll just look pretty much down the road. See, there was something moving there earlier, but it looked like it was an impala that moved across the road. Alright, well, we're going to get to Buffelshoek Dam. Let's head over to Ralph, as he's still looking for those tawny cats.
So, still continuing on behind our wonderful Amakhala Pride of Lions. I can hear some red-faced mouse birds calling now. Cooperative breeders, always in groups. You don't hear one without hearing many. And these guys are very mobile. That bodes well for us, but they're heading off now just down the hill, so we're going to have to start up and catch up with them. See, just a little bit further on down the hill there is where the corner of this fence is. So that's generally where they leave the fence line. So I'm guessing that that's what's going to happen now. So we should leave the ghastly view of the electric fence. I'm hoping so, anyway. As long as they're mobile, that's good news. Just Keep looking. Some of them have disappeared in the bush here, and that's what they do. They zigzag through the thickets because you never know when there's, especially on a nice cold morning like this, a late rising warthog. So Nina, these lions won't be denning. The youngsters are too big. Oh, hello. They maybe have spotted something. But at one stage, when they were still very small little cubbies, there was a spot within a river line that they were denning in. They've definitely spotted something. Lots of concentration. See how those ears have been perfectly erect. They're starting to go down the hill now with intent, and sometimes they also split up like this, sort of trap the animal. They've definitely spotted something. Oh, the youngster just fell in a termite hole or an aardvark's burrow. They're definitely after something. You can see a bit of teamwork coming into play here. This one female just hanging back, watching. The ones on the fence line are looking in from the side. So everybody, I think there may be a warthog in there. It's amazing though. Sometimes you're thinking, what on earth are they seeing? And only right at the last second, when they get close to it and it springs out of the grass, do you realize what they've all spotted? Yeah, this one also now joining into the hunt. They're after something. Here comes the warthog. Yes, yes. And they may be going to be in front of it. There they go. Let's listen out for the squeal. I wonder, did they get it? I might just reverse up a little bit and see if we get a better view from that side. Just to quickly see, because they had it surrounded. They had every chance of getting that pig. So tell me if you get a view in there anywhere, Morgan. While I stay on the road. Oh, there we see one. There we see the one. It's now stopped. I wonder if that warthog gave them the slip. See, because there were 3 of them onto it. If that warthog did get away, well, good on him. So that's what they had seen. They flushed it out. So good going. That's the sub-adults that are now becoming... Oh, here comes one back. So I think it must have gotten away. Well, I don't call him Mr. Pig for nothing. He gets to live another day. Well done, Mr. Warty. Not today, he said. Not today. So, Calvin, you got your heart beating a bit faster there. I think it probably wasn't beating as fast as that warthog's. He's probably going to need himself a stiff drink after that. Probably head down to the waterhole. He had a close shave. So, now we get to continue on following them. They're definitely on the hunt. Maybe the next warthog won't be so lucky. But that was exciting. That's why we follow lions when they're on the move. You never know when there's going to be something popping out. And that's why the lions also, as they do move, sometimes they just randomly split off and walk through the thickets. Because, as I was saying, you never know when you're going to happen upon an unsuspecting warthog. Or anything else, for that matter. The cheetah do it as well, zigzagging through the thickets as they go. And then they happen upon something unsuspecting. Normally walking into the wind. There hasn't been any wind up until now. So if I just stop and feel, And they couldn't have really gone in a westerly direction because they were right in the corner. But I think there is a little bit of an easterly breeze, so they are walking into the wind. It looks like the young male that's going to just come out now and catch up with the one female. He's getting a little bit more of a hairstyle now. And there he is. And you can quite clearly see the difference between him and his sisters. And he's disappeared off there now, so we will... Luckily we're on the hill here, so we can quietly make our way down the hill. Elizabeth, quite right. Better luck next time. And yeah, to be fair, these youngsters are inexperienced. So I would have thought if that was the adult females, that warthog didn't stand a chance, especially if they went for it properly. But these youngsters are still learning. They'll get better. Every failure helps them to be better. Can't be perfect every time. Just carrying on now through the thickets. Excuse me, a little bit of a runny nose with this cold morning weather. Lots of excitement following these chaps.
This is On Safari.
That big boy lying down there, of course, he must be the dominant male of this herd of waterbuck. There's a big bee there. Did you see the little bumblebee coming past us there? Ooh. There's a big elephant that just approached us. We did not even know. Sorry, I think I might just have to turn another way and Paul with the vehicle. What do you think? Because he's going to come down to drink. I'm going to miss him. We didn't even know. He silently came behind us without us even knowing. All right, let me just turn here, Paul. I'm going to see if we can get a better view on him. Oh, that was funny. It just shows you how silent an elephant can be. You think such a big animal, you'll quickly pick up on the noise, you know, them approaching you. But we only noticed when he was like right behind us. All right, I'm going to stop just there. I think he's going to go to the inflow, maybe have a drink. Not the oldest of males. Come on now, mister. There you go. Make your way down to the water. Hopefully he's not just going to walk past. Yep, have a drink. There we go. No, he's just walking past. I do apologize. There's a bumblebee in front of the lens there, and I apologize about that. Bumblebees wants a bit of screen time. I do apologize for that little one, but we can't do much about it. You guys see it's going to come in front of the camera. No, move.
Yes.
That was funny. Oh, yeah. That bumblebee just went, back again. Just sit still. Okay, looks like at least the elephant has decided to drink some water. A little bit of excitement around here at Buffelshoek Dam. I was saying a little bit earlier, I don't think he's not an old male, a mid-age male, this. As you know, we will be going live every Tuesday, so once again this Tuesday for all the YouTube members and explorers. You're right there, Paul. Yeah. So we'll be going live every Tuesday for YouTube members and explorers only. So please make sure not to miss out on our Tuesday sunrise and sunset safaris, and make sure that you do become a member of YouTube or an explorer. And that's if you do not want to miss out on those Tuesday sunrise and sunset safaris. Yeah, he's grabbing some nice lush green vegetation there off the bank. Oh, okay, well, let's leave our elephant and let's head back to Ralph in Amakhala. Apparently, those tawny cats are making their way closer to his vehicle.
Well, we've got the lions right next to us now. I just anticipated where they were going and we headed up in front. They are just passing us now, though, however, so I will... Maybe, although, I don't know, Morgan, if you swing around, you might just get them moving up through the thickets here. And you might also see what I was talking about earlier. All right, I'm just going to swing a little bit so we're going to get a nice view on them. And then you can see what I was talking about earlier about the tracking of the animals, how they've walked through the grass here, and you can actually see where the water has been taken off. And so this, in this kind of situation, is a kind of example where you would be able to follow them. But once the sun gets up and dries off this moisture off the grass, that trail that we're seeing now would disappear. But currently, I would be able to trail these lions, even through the grass, because you can see that obvious trail that they've left, taking the water with them as they walked through it. Now they've disappeared up through and into the thickets. We're also going to have to do the same. So they're gone, and I think we'll try and follow. We'll have to loop around and anticipate maybe where they've gone. I just hope we don't go into a termite mound or into something else. So hold on. Here we go. Good old Land Rover. Try and catch up with him quickly. Nice sandy road, so it's a little bit smoother than the clay roads, not as bumpy. Now, as I say, they can change direction, so we're just going to try and loop and get into the best possible situation for where they may pop out. Right, so I'm going to try and relocate this pride and see exactly what they're up to, but I wonder at the same time what Steve is up to.
Well, welcome to a splashy affair here at Chitwa. Hippos are moving around in the water quite quickly, making waves. It was a calm and peaceful, serene moment for a while, and now suddenly the hippos have gotten quite busy. Seems like some youngsters. I suppose if you spend all day in the pool, you get rather bored and you start chasing each other around. We had some vocalizations while we were still on Juma, so we thought we'd come and check it out.
Explore the untamed valleys and thickets with Ralph Kirsten.
Beautiful.
Or venture into the wild with Eric Barnard.
I will take you to my favorite places, show you my favorite animals, share the best stories, and you'll definitely be able to watch the stars.
There are only 6 places available on each safari. For more information and to secure your seat, contact Wild Earth Travel.
No, nothing. I'll try and look this side as well. I just got that elephant just hanging back behind some of the bushes, but I think I've got a feeling this crocodile's moved on. Do you know if Steve had the crocodile here yesterday? Oh, I'm not too sure. But then again, you think there's no crocodile here. I won't even try and test to the waters because you never know. A crocodile could be lurking under the brown water here and could surprise you. So you always have to play very safe. I've got a nice grey heron doing the typical balancing act as well. We'll just quickly take a look there now. Once again, sitting right on top of this dead stump that is coming out of the water. All kind of tucked in, not really in hunting mode. Or just kind of taking a little bit of a nap. Feeling nice and safe in the middle of the water. But it's amazing how they just balance on those little stumps, those little legs. Tim, yeah, no, these birds are very patient. When it comes to hunting, they are, I think like herons in general, are very patient hunters. Well, clearly you can see this heron is not looking much into the water area. I don't think it really wants to do too much at this point of time. Just rather sit up there and rest for the morning. Nice Egyptian geese, male and female, that's just swimming by there at the back end.
Dion.
John, herons will eat fish and they will feed on frogs. We saw a few frogs this morning, so yes, fish and frogs. Well, it depends on which heron you're talking about. I mean, the black-headed heron, they will go for, you know, more like little rodents and even skinks. They don't really hunt like along the water areas. They're more inlands. And the grasslands. As I said, they seldom forage in water. That's the black-headed heron. So I didn't get an update there, Gwen. Did Ralph come right with those lions down in Amakala? All right, thank you, Gwen. So it looks like it did come right for a bit, but those lions also disappeared into the thick stuff. We still got this elephant around here. Not the greatest view of this young male elephant that is just feeding on the fringes of the dam. He's just taking his time. All right, well, we were talking about Ralph. I think let's head back to Ralph in Amakala to see if he's come right with anything else.
All right, well, what is happening here is the lions just headed into the thicket. So we're basically just, like I say, leapfrogging and getting ahead of them, trying to anticipate exactly where they're going. But there's a few vehicles around, so not necessary for us to chase up behind them. They'll obviously be able to pick them up. In the meantime, we're just watching these kudu down the bottom and see if they pick up the lions. They might give us a booming bark, while the other vehicles are trying to relocate. The lions are on the hunt, so it's always nice to keep following when they are hunting. It's very exciting. The only thing is if they run deep into the thickets when they catch something. So I think we're actually quite lucky that they didn't catch that warthog, because we probably wouldn't have been able to see it, because they ran down into an area that was out of view and it was a very big block. So we're hoping that they flush something out and actually kill it in the open. That would be first prize. They were heading in the direction of these kudu, but still quite far away, so I doubt these kudu have been able to pick them up yet. But if they spot them moving up in the thickets where we are, then you're definitely going to hear those kudu bark, that's for sure. And they're going to let this whole valley know that there's lions about. They did have a sort of look in at some impala, but the impala picked them up very quickly and off they went. There's a couple of alarm calls and they disappeared. So Yvette, yeah, this is a nice little group of kudu. You don't really see much bigger than that. They're not as sociable, if you want to say that, like impala. It's generally one, and the females very often just move by themselves. The bull's not always moving with them. He'll maintain his territory, and within that territory, he'll probably, have quite a number of females. But yeah, this is a big bull there as well. You can see the size of his horns, and so he's got himself a lovely group of females as well. Still haven't picked up on the lions, I believe, but maybe he has just seen a bit of movement from them, and that's why he's looking up in this direction. I'm not exactly sure just yet if it is lions. So we'll just sit here for another minute or two, and then we'll continue in and follow behind where those lions are. They probably then have already come through the block, so we'll be actually able to see them. Yeah, male, very relaxed. He's not concerned about anything, so he hasn't picked up. Oh, hello. He's having a look in the direction of where the lions were. Is he looking at us, or is he looking at lions? He seems to be having a little bit more concern now. Maybe these lions are going to pop out right behind us. It's always exciting, these kind of hunts, and when predators are on the move and you're following in with them. But there can be a lot of moving of the vehicle and a lot of noise from the engine. That's why sometimes I also like just to sit and be quiet and listen. And very often when I do that, oh, hello, jackal on the road. Something happens. And look at that. A nice relaxed jackal coming straight at us. Maybe he's also picked up that the lions are here and you want to follow in behind them because they might get something to scavenge. Hello, chap. Ooh, he's got a mangled back leg, but it looks like he's doing just fine. Hello, you. You're very tame. Hope you don't have rabies. No, he just looks inquisitive. He's right next to us here. This is pretty awesome. Hello, chap. I'm not going to scare him by starting up. He's very inquisitive with us. There he just runs now and trots off behind the vehicle. Beautiful. There he goes. See? It's worthwhile stopping every now and then. You never know what's going to happen. Little jackal popping out. And the kudu off in the distance, doing their thing. No more alarm calls as of yet.
Thanks, Ralph. Welcome to another small bird of prey. I was alerted to this tree by a whole lot of starlings that flew in and made a lot of noise. You can see those two little black spots on the back of the head. Make it very easy to identify this as the little pearl-spotted owlet. A very bold hunter. Crepuscular, meaning active in dusk and dawn. They feed on insects and rodents, bats, but also snakes and birds. And so birds get very annoyed when they see these little owls, and they get chased and harassed. They also get chased and harassed by the large owls as well, hence why they've formed more of a crepuscular, if not diurnal, pattern. We've got an owlet, and our owlet has decided to move on. Thank you, Mr. Owl, or Mrs. Owl. I wouldn't be able to tell you the difference. Okay, so we were struggling with comms on Chitwa. Sorry about that. A couple of questions came through. Let me see if I can go back to them. Calvin said its dam always looks so full. Yeah, it's looking nice and full at the moment. And Annalie, great to see hippos being active. Yes, it most certainly is nice to see them being active. Apart from just lying there, submerged in the water. Cynthia, well, more birds of prey would be nice. We're going to start seeing more of them in the winter months. Just easier to spot them with all have been gone now. So a lot of our residential birds of prey. It's only the second one I think we've seen today. Yep. Start with the birds of prey and then we can start getting the land-based carnivores. That'll be a plan.
Explore the untamed valleys and thickets with Ralph Kirsten.
Beautiful. En garde.
Or venture into the wild with Eric Barnard.
I will take you to my favorite places, show you my favorite animals, share the best stories, and you'll definitely be able to watch the stars.
There are only 6 places available on each safari. For more information and to secure your seat, contact Wild Earth Travel.
Not much happening here this morning. Just some flies. Very persistent flies. Gwen was here just a couple of weeks ago, and she recalls the flies. They are persistent. Well, it's not that they're a big problem. They just land on the same place again and again, and it's ticklish. And they keep landing on your face. It keeps tickling you, and it becomes a little much. Just to breathe through that takes practice.
Right, so left the dam, Buffelshoek Dam. I'm slowly heading back towards Gowrie Dam now. There's a lot of oxpeckers here. And when I get a sign of these oxpeckers, there's always like an indicator of some kind of herbivore that's around here. They all moved off now. Maybe like a herd of buffalo. But I didn't see any buffalo tracks coming south into Djuma this morning. I really thought, because yesterday they said there was a herd of buffaloes making its way towards Djuma, but I think that herd of buffaloes clearly must have changed direction and head back north into Buffelshoek. Alright, I always like to come and take a look at this tree just in case. And Paul and myself have been lucky here already with Marips that once was Marips, yeah, it was lying up here. Lumber, yeah. I've also been very lucky with Marips being up in this tree. So I always just stop here and take a look, as well as we know that we've been hearing Pals fishing. Oh, ooh, that is a challenge. Yes, because a giraffe is my mom's favorite animal, and because it is Mother's Day. Mom, I think I'll have to try and find a giraffe for you this, well, if not this morning, I'll have to go and track down a giraffe this afternoon. Yo, okay. I can't promise everything, yeah, but we'll try. All right, let's move on. Let's try. Well, if I do hear of a giraffe coming down to Gowrie Dam during the day, then I'll tell her to hop onto Dam Cam and go and take a look there. But other than that, yes, giraffes would be nice for the day. Indeed, indeed. Ah, thanks, Gwen. Gwen says she'll keep an eye out on the water holes and she'll let me know. Who actually had a giraffe suit? Somebody had like a giraffe suit. It was, yeah. Wasn't it Tristan? Somebody dressed up as a giraffe many years ago on Wild Earth. I think it was Tristan. It was very hot. I can't remember who it was. Let's try and get something like that. Thanks, Gwen. Yeah, I can't. So there was somebody that dressed up as a giraffe. Fantastic, you know, one of those like that one suit kind of thing where you climb into it and it's got like the giraffe head that comes out here, the face, and got the ears and everything. We'll just dress some paw up in that, and then we'll be good. Well, actually, we know who, Cameron. we'll dress Cameron up in a giraffe suit. It will be perfect. Yeah, that would be perfect. Of course, Cameron is one of our camp ops, and he is very tall. He's like 6'8", 6'9". All right. I think. I'm sure it was Tristan. It was in that giraffe suit. But yeah, I'll also have to go take a look. Well, yeah, carry down now. Just taking a look here quickly. There's a hippo at least. Is this the mom in the car? Or is this now just Dewey? Well, it looks like it's just the male hippo. Yeah, I was actually hoping it was going to be the female and a little calf here, which would be very fitting for Mother's Day. There's something bubbling next to it. Kim, yeah, very peaceful, very nice. Just to sit here and listen out to all the sounds. The Egyptian geese, as always. You know, they're always in full vocals, full song here, and a lot of squirrels and Franklin that's busy going crazy. A little bit further towards the camp area. And looks like we've also got, oh, it's not going to be great. There's a Nyala coming there, but we think we can get that Mpo, not really. That's Vuyatela Lodge, and then there's a Nyala, a female Nyala coming out. I wonder if she's going to bring a little lamb, a calf out with her. Most of the female Nyalas at the moment, they've got calves. They actually walked past my room the other day, and 3 small ones came tiptoeing past the rooms with Mom. There comes the second one. I'm sure it must be the same herd. I'm waiting for the young ones. So they've got 2, 3, 4 females are going to come out now. Good. Well, they're all adults. I don't think it's. Well, there's 2 youngsters there, not small calves. Oh, they're seeing something there. Yeah, I think those 3 in the middle are actually the young ones. So not young calves. They're maybe about 4 or 5, like 3 or 4 months old. So they're really quite big. So they're not small. And they always feel safe around the camp areas. Regular said the other day, I think he said that Nyalas must have been humans in their past life because they feel very safe in the camp and they hang around the camp area and they know exactly where to hang out. And well, this family most times is inside camp.
This morning we did have some lions. Cedric's probably going to follow that one.
no sign of those lions, but they may be zigzagging on through the bush. Might take them a little bit of time to come on out. They do like this area, that's why I've also stopped here, and it's a bit of an open area in the bush, in these thickets as well, so it would be convenient and a perfect sighting if they did pop out here. So sometimes if you wish it so and it goes out into the universe, it happens, and that's what we're doing. They could have, however, caught something in between. Those youngsters and the adult females, they're obviously in the mood for food. They're definitely hunting, and they look very intent on catching something. The kudu didn't pick up on them, and so there wasn't that booming bark that we would expect. So at least they've kept themselves concealed enough for that ultimate warning sign from the kudu.
Well, welcome back live, everybody. On a beautiful morning, it's been out and about. It's been pretty quiet, but it's been nice to be out in the nice fresh transition. It was nice and fresh to start, but it hasn't been a very cold morning. I feel like it's going to be shifting next few days. Condensation on the grass seems to be drying out already, but lost a little bit of moisture. We hope all you mothers out there are being spoilt on Mother's Day with your breakfast in bed, and coffees, and whatever it is that you look forward to. Get to see your family. Thank you, Blue Jay Fly. It's wonderful to have you on board. I wouldn't say it's been amazing from our side. We had some beautiful scenes, but it's been pretty quiet. But that's the way it rolls versus yesterday morning. Very different. But every day is different in the bush. You never know what you might see. And you never know what we might see around the next corner. There's still time. We got a brief visual of some elephants earlier, but they went into Povosuk. They are avoiding me, it seems. They're trying to hide away. I'm really looking forward to spending a nice afternoon with a herd of elephants. And getting my first honey badger sighting for the year. That'd be nice. Have you seen a honey badger this year, Panda? You have. Hello, Mo. Have a blessed Sunday to you as well. It's just another day in our books out here. Days of the week don't really mean a lot out here. But Cedric will be on safari this afternoon, followed by the live drive. And we hope by that stage all of you mothers out there have been spoiled rotten. It was nice, Ralph, finding some lions this morning in Amakala. We've had some tracks and we've had some nice hippo activity and some cool little birds. So thank you for joining us on the Sunrise Safari this Sunday, Mother's Day. We look forward to hosting you again from our locations again this afternoon. Do have a blessed Sunday further, and look after your mothers out there, everybody. And mothers, have a good one. Until then, goodbye.